So I normally don't make videos like this, but last night I received a private message from the mother of Bubby asking me to bring awareness to this issue, and this is the best way that I can possibly do it, making a video on my channel and posting the petition change.org link down below in the description. And the main reason that I'm doing this is because I know these people personally, and I know that they're good parents, and I've actually met them, I believe, 3 or 4 times, and I've gotten photos with Bubby himself. This photo here was taken at PAX Prime in Seattle, Washington, me cosplay as my notorious Deadpool/Pikachu cosplay. In fact, just a few months ago, I ran into them yet again, and Bubby gave me the photo of him and me from the previous year. I've always heard stories about Child Protective Services being very corrupted, and this just confirms that they really are. Now, in my state of Washington, the RCW law states that if you're going to take a child out of the home, that there needs to be proper evidence given, and the court needs to be able to see that evidence to determine if the child is in a sustainable household, that what the parents are doing everything in their power to take care of that child in the environment that it needs to be in. Well, Child Protective Services didn't do that, as you can see from here.
A county couple says CPS took their son from their home without telling them why. And it's not the first time young Bubby Everson has made headlines. King 5's Heather Graff live at 11 now to explain.
We first met this 9-year-old with special needs back in February when his family launched an online campaign called Birthday Cards for Bubby. The response was huge. In fact, even President Obama himself sent Bubby a card, and his family says that birthday surprise is just one example of how much they love him. It was Friday afternoon at this home in Puyallup when a knock on the front door changed everything.
Handed me a piece of paper and said, "We have an order to take your child." I fell to my knees.
4 days later, Brandy and Thomas Everson have pored over the paperwork those social workers gave them.
It is currently contrary to the child's welfare for the child to remain at home.
But the 2-page order offers no details about exactly why Child Protective Services felt their home was unsafe for 9-year-old Bubby.
Bubby, he was born with congenital CMV. He has brain damage. He's autistic as well.
A smiling little boy with special needs who is now a familiar face to people across Western Washington and across the country after his parents launched an online campaign in February called Birthday Cards for Bubby because their son loves getting mail.
And the response was absolutely overwhelming.
But now, the Eversons fear that thousands of cards that continue to come in are the very reason their son is no longer here.
We were opening mail. He was happy.
They say a CPS investigator first paid them a visit in response to a missed doctor's appointment, but seemed very concerned at the stacks of mail piled inside their home. And less than 2 weeks later, social workers showed up and took Bubby away.
It's like being hit in the gut.
And so his room is now empty, and so are their hearts, thanks to a custody battle this family never saw coming.
We are good parents. We are the ones that know how to care for our child.
Now, the Eversons' fight to bring Bubby home will kick into high gear tomorrow morning with a rally outside of the DSHS office in Tacoma. We did reach out to Child Protective Services today to get more details on exactly why Bubby was removed from his home, but due to the Memorial Day holiday, our calls and emails so far have not been returned. We will, of course, keep you posted.
This is terrifying to me. The fact that Child Protective Services can go into somebody's home without the proper documentation and take someone's child, especially a special needs child, a child that needs care from their parents and needs to stay home, and the CPS just comes in and takes it without any sort of documentation as to why. And that is why I'm making this video, because I know them personally, because I've actually met Bubby himself. This story needs to get bigger, and more pressure needs to be put on CPS on the why the fuck they are doing this. I mean, I'm not even a parent. I have 2 dogs, and if someone stole or kidnapped my puppy, I would not only be outraged, but I would be deeply hurt, scared, and so concerned that I wouldn't probably be able to sleep for the next week. As of right now, my 2 dogs are my children, and I can only imagine the pain and the fear that is going through these parents' minds right now with CPS taking their special needs child away from them for no legitimate reason. It makes you start to wonder how much CPS has actually done this in the past without proper documentation. If it can happen to Bubby, it can happen to your child. It can happen to any special needs child. and I don't want that to happen to anyone. The link down below in the description is the articles, the change.org. You can do a petition, sign that petition to get it more awareness to this issue. My name is Daniel Solzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Thank you for watching this video. Please bring awareness to this, share it, post it. It would mean the world to me, but not only to me, but the parents of Bubby.